Locked in baseball, Wednesday, October 29th. I'm William Locke. He's Luis Barranco. The Toronto Blue Jays have taken a 3-2 lead in the World Series, beating the Dodgers 6-1 in Game 5 this evening. Luis, they're on the brink.
I mean, what a terrible performance tonight by the LA Dodgers.
I knew you were going to lead with the Dodgers being bad. I knew this was going to happen.
It was a great day for me. You know, I've had a really good day. You know, I woke up this morning. My Starbucks barista made a great iced coffee, set my mood out great for the day, went into work, you know, did my work, got my work done, left work, had a good run tonight, had a good pace on my run club. And I come home and I see I wasn't even home. Like Blake Snell just decided to give 2 home runs to finish off my night, you know? So here we are. I mean, it was 70 degrees. I know some of y'all are freezing. I don't know if we got people viewing tonight, but some of y'all are freezing up north. I heard it's pretty cold up there in Chicago. Here it's a nice 80, 70 degrees with a nice breeze, little sprinkles there. But, I mean, terrible performance tonight, my guy. We just got to talk about it.
Terrible. I mean, I think it was a great performance. I think that's how we should frame it. The Blue Jays won this baseball game. The Blue Jays scored 6 runs. Trey Savage was absolutely lights out and silenced the Dodger bats. That's the story, I think. I know you did this yesterday. You're angry that the Blue Jays are winning now.
I'm not angry. I'm just, you know.
I sense a little salt in these texts. I don't even know why. For those that are tuning in for the first time, I do have to say, I'm a Yankee fan, but I appreciate good baseball. I love the sport arguably more than I love the Yankees. So I can appreciate the fact that the Blue Jays are playing some beautiful baseball right now, beating up on the Los Angeles Dodgers, the team that everybody crowned champions heading into this series. They're playing great baseball. For whatever reason, I don't know why Luis is being a little salty about this Blue Jays team, but they're playing what I would like to call ethical baseball.
It's self-inflicted wounds at this point. I mean, right now the Dodgers are being their own worst enemy. They can't hit. They can't play solid defense at sometimes. You know, we see it at the backstop letting balls go. And, I mean, their fans are even leaving early. They got, you know, Dodgers got more celebrity fans than freaking wins right now at this point in the postseason.
They got to beat the traffic. I mean, we've both been to that stadium. The traffic is horrible getting out of that place.
Yeah, they had freaking DiCaprio, Sidney Sweeney, Glenn Powell. Who did they had?
Matt Leinart.
They had everybody. It's just like if you've done some C-list or B-list movie, you get a free ticket at this point because we gotta, you know, it's LA. I mean,
I think Leo is as A-list as it gets.
I mean, yeah, but there was like you go on Instagram and like whatever, there was like everybody. I mean, at this point, you know, what the Dodgers need to remember, it's not about who your fans are. It's about winning a freaking baseball game at this point. I mean, tonight was just
since we're kind of talking about the telecast, I guess we can lead with that. I gotta say, I was a little disappointed with the Fox telecast tonight in Game 5, and a little bit disappointed with it in the games that the Blue Jays have won this series, in really overall in this series in general. And this is coming from a Yankee fan, a neutral observer in this game. I just want good baseball in this series. I'm not rooting for either team. The Blue Jays were up 6-1 late in this game, and they're talking about Clayton Kershaw and his career. Like, I get it. You know, he's a Hall of Famer first ballot, but the guy's pitched 1 at bat this whole game or this whole series. Like, he's been for the most part, a non-factor in this series. Great career. I get it. It was not the right time to start talking about Kershaw and all of his accomplishments. They should have been talking about how great the Blue Jays are playing, how the fact that the Blue Jays are 1 game away from the first World Series since 1993. I just feel like the broadcast has been very Dodger-centric this series, and that's coming from, again, a neutral observer. I have no dog in the fight here. I've been a little disappointed with Fox.
Hey, I will admit, like every time like the Blue Jays made a play or the Blue Jays did something pretty good on the field, like tonight, and Addison Barger just stole third on the wild pitch. And here in the crowd, we have Sidney Sweeney and Jason Bateman and Leonardo DiCaprio. Hey, look, it's Matt Leinart on Big Dude from Fox. That's exactly what they were doing. And here we got Nathan Lucas, who's been pitching well.
They're like, and Ernie Clement, yeah, he's played good. You know, whatever. He's hitting 400. But hey, Sidney Sweeney's in the stands. They had
it literally happened tonight. They were talking about Kershaw. Like, it literally, what was that point? You literally noted it. We got to go.
It was in the 8th. It was in the 8th. The game was out of hand. Yeah.
Yeah, the game was out of hand. And Clayton Kershaw. And here's Leo DiCaprio out when they're in the box seat. Said, and Nathan Lucas. is up to play. Like exactly straight up.
Varsho hit the triple in the fourth to lead off the inning when Teoscar made that terrible diving attempt, got past him, and went all the way to the wall. It was a terrible play by Teoscar. And it was during the in-game interview. I can't remember if it was with John Schneider or Roberts. And Ken Rosenthal was interviewing one of the managers, and he just kept talking through the triple. And then after, then Joe Davis came on for like a brief second. It's like, and the leadoff triple there from Varsho. And then they went right back to Rosenthal, and they weren't actually talking about the play that just happened, a leadoff triple to start the inning. Like, what are we doing, guys?
But yeah, I understand it. But enough with the negativity. I think what the listeners want to hear is they want some good baseball analysis with some puns and some good jokes from us. They want us to probably beef it out tonight, because I do feel that we do have some beef to settle on this series tonight. And first off, let's talk about the first. I mean, let's talk about the big points of emphasis. In the first inning, you had David Schneider first pitch swinging. It was pretty funny because I was driving, and I don't condone this to anybody. I hope law enforcement does not listen to this podcast at all. But I was driving. I had my Bluetooth on, and I had the game on my in my car. And John Smoltz pregame while Snell is getting ready, and they have the Kendrick Lamar song, the Mustard one going. They're like, Blake Snell has to establish the fastball. Everything works off the fastball. The changeup, the curveball, everything works off the fastball. First thing you know, David Schneider takes a fastball up, out. Next batter in. Vladdy takes first pitch. Next pick, another fastball comes, and it's a home run. I mean, the establishing the fastball did not happen. And again, it reminds me of game one, of how the Blue Jays had success in game one around the sixth. It was the sixth inning where they went on their big run in the sixth, where Blake Snell was still in the game, and they just ambushed him. And that's what they did tonight in the first inning. They ambushed him, didn't let him get a rhythm, didn't let him settle in. And, that's 2 runs on the board. And that's really changes the dynamic from a mindset perspective. And it really changes, gets the pitcher to think differently. And we saw that when the third hitter came across the plate. Bo Bichette comes on, and it was just straight curveball, changeup. I don't think he even we can look at the pitching stats for that at bat. I don't think he threw a single fastball, in that AB. And yeah, he got him out, but of course, you already had the pitcher thinking twice about throwing the fastball. And why is Bo Bichette in the lineup? Bo Bichette's in the lineup to hit fastballs. He's one of the best hitters in the bigs right now in the major leagues, hitting fastballs over 98 miles an hour. That's why he's in the lineup. So he saw the combination of Bo Bichette being at the plate and seeing his fastball rocking the first 2 hitters. Blake Snell was already in a whole different perspective of how to approach the game.
He did not throw a single fastball the rest of the first inning after the home run to Vlad. 6 pitches to Bichette, all change-ups. 3 pitches to Kirk. 6 pitches to Bichette, 4 curves, 2 change, and then to Kirk, change, slider, and then to Clement, he went change-up, slider, and then just a slider to Varsho. So yeah, he completely went away from the fastball. And then in the game, he threw 116 pitches, 33 curves, 30 change, 27 fastballs, and 26 sliders. 6 2/3 was the line. 6 2/3, 6 hits, 5 earned, 4 walks, 7 Ks, and he gave up 2 home runs. So not the best start from Snell. Like you said, to your point, he got ambushed early. And did you see the video of David Schneider's dad in the stands?
I was driving, so I had to pay attention to the road.
Yeah. His dad was in the stands. He videoed the at bat, and he was just freaking out because his son just hit a leadoff home run in the World Series. And can I say, we kind of talked about this in the last episode, and that the Dodgers don't have the chess pieces to move in and out of the lineup, and the Blue Jays do. I mean, the Blue Jays, they lose George Springer, who looked like he was going to pinch run for Bo Bichette later in this game. I think that was in the 8th, so that's something to watch. He might be in the lineup on Friday night's Game 6. But Springer goes down. World against you. Feels like the series is over. That's your second best player this postseason. And yesterday, Nathan Lucas slots in, gets 2 hits. Today, David Schneider slots in, hits a home run to lead off the game. Like, they just have dudes that they can slot in that are going to come in and produce. That's the difference between the Dodgers and the Blue Jays, in my opinion. The Blue Jays are deeper, and they grind at bats. We talk about that all the time. But the Blue Jays got dudes. And, again, with the Dodgers, it's like if guys like Andy Pages or Tommy Edmond aren't hitting, it's like, all right, well, you're kind of screwed. They don't have anybody else to put in there.
Well, let me just ask you this, and I mean, this is something big, and we're going to stick on the first for a little bit longer. Dodgers face a lot of not bad calls, but just tough calls. I mean, the double play was a tough play; it was close, and it was ruled correctly. And the throwing out Varsho at second, that could have gone either way. It was a close call, but like, I just want to ask you a question. Knowing, we talk about the backgrounds of how the Dodgers are made and how the Blue Jays are made. Don't you feel that because this Blue Jays team is just, like I said, I call them a bunch of misfits, not through the negative connotation, but I call them a bunch of misfits from dudes that were told no and dudes that were thrown out by other DFA, by other MLB organizations, and they kind of just ended up in Toronto and the minor league systems, and they kind of just worked their way up and didn't think they're going to make it. Don't you think that they have that kind of like nucleus and that kind of like energy of camaraderie that they all kind of like that. They kind of like being the underdog. And I mean, we could talk about, John Schneider. He also is a guy who, when we look back of how he got the job, he wasn't your first call. And he was a guy that was a career minor league, he was a career minor league manager. He managed at Bo Bichette and Vladdy, correct me if I'm wrong, in Double-A. He was a career minor league guy. And, he kind of, had a really good run as the interim, and he got the job. And that's how I kind of feel like they feed off the energy of the manager, who they're a bunch of underdogs, and they've been told no. And I think them losing Game 3 gave them that energy to like, okay, like we've been here before, like they've had close games and everything, but like that's just who they are. Like you have David and Goliath, and I don't know why that story is not getting more emphasized more through the storylines, through the media. You have a super team, which the Dodgers are a super team in a sense, and you have a Goliath that is David, that is the Blue Jays.
I don't think the Blue Jays are David. The Blue Jays finished with the best record in the American League. They are fifth in payroll. They have Vlad, who's on a $500 million contract. Like they're not David.
But just saying, but a bunch of those guys, like think about it, like Addison Barger, IKF is a versatility guy. Ernie Clement, Nathan Lucas, a bunch of their guys, and they got big ticket guys, which is Springer, Vladdy, Gosman, Bichette. They have Berrios, who's not even on the roster. Mm-hmm. So my whole point is they're kind of that team that it's just like they're just a bunch of dudes.
They are a bunch of dudes. Yeah, it's not household names. I do think there's a lot of nobody believes in us with the Blue Jays.
That's what I'm saying. That's the whole point I'm telling you right now. That it's just like they all band together because they're dudes that, a lot of them, a third of the team, like they said on the telecast, started in the minor leagues this season. Trey Savage, we haven't even gotten to tonight. I mean, we got to talk about his line.
Burying the lead a little bit, yeah.
Trey Savage started in Single A this season. It's pretty crazy. Like Trey Savage, like let's just go ahead and talk about him. 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned, 12 strikeouts. And I know you texted me and we're like, what's going on tonight? And I'm like, Trey Savage is locked in, literally locked in baseball. He was on another level. I have a stat for you, which will be pretty shocked about Trey Savage tonight. Shout out my boy Nugget Chef from Underdog on Twitter. He said that Trey Savage, multiple starts with 1 run, 1 or none run ball, 1 or none walks, and 11 or more strikeouts in the single postseason MLB history. Randy Johnson, Cliff Lee, Trey Savage.
Was that Cliff Lee in 08?
And 2010. Then you also have 12 or more strikeouts in a World Series game since 1960. Trey Savage, Orlando Hernandez, Tom Seaver, Bob Gibson twice, and Sandy Koufax. He's the first pitcher since Orlando Hernandez in Game 3 of the 2000 World Series to record 12 or more strikeouts. Like the dude is crazy. Like he also falls in the category of 12 or more strikeouts from a pitcher 23 or younger in a postseason game all time. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, he forced 23 whiffs. I know we're kind of just reading stats here, but it truly is impressive. It was a historical start from Savage. 23 whiffs from Dodgers in Game 5, the most of any pitcher in the World Series since pitch tracking began in 2008. His 12 strikeouts were the most by any pitcher in World Series history without issuing any walks. And he's doing it with essentially 2 real pitches. The slider is kind of
Three
weird.
pitches. Let's talk about it, because I was getting really hot about this because the Dodgers, of how they're constructed and what the team is. Savage only throws a fastball, a splitter, and a slider. And tonight we know that the splitter was on point. And you talked about that the splitter. You have said on pod that the changeup you think is the best pitch in baseball when executed correctly. But you're saying that a really good splitter is really hard to hit.
I'm starting to think the splitter is better than a good changeup. Yeah.
His fastball is pretty good, but it's not like anything that's gonna like wow you. It's an all right.
If the fastball is fine, but you basically have to pair that with the splitter. I mean, he threw 30 splitters, 29 fastballs, and he did throw 45 sliders. So he threw most of his pitches were sliders tonight. But I think you have to. The fastball is not the fastball without the splitter. Is my point.
And the slider isn't anything. I was just shocked that Dodgers, like, he has that release point that we talk about. He's very long and just big dude. And I'm just like, how can you just not adjust tonight? This is the second time you're seeing it. You only recorded 4 hits, and 2 of those hits came off Teoscar Hernandez.
They struck out 15 times as a team tonight. There's only 27 outs.
My God, like, what are we doing out here? It's just like, it's just so disappointing for this Dodgers lineup. Oh my God, like Ohtani, nowhere to be found tonight. And now they're saying that he had IVs after Game 3. Like, I understand you're getting. I billed you as the GOAT the other day, but I don't want to hear the excuses that, like, oh, he had IVs, he didn't get his sleep, he didn't
get his 12 hours that he needs every day.
I understand, but it's just like, this is the postseason. You got to come up in the big moments. You got to come in and finish the job. I mean, the lineup tonight, really didn't work. Alex Cole wasn't great.
They changed it up tonight. We do have to note that
he did get a walk in at the 9 hole, but man, oh man, I mean, I personally, when I read the lineup card going Ohtani, Will Smith, Betts, Freeman, would have been, great. But I think, you're going to probably have to jumble up the lineup again because it's just not working. I mean, right now, your best hitter this past 2-3 games has been Teoscar Hernandez, and you're stashing him at the 5 hole. He's going to move up at least some point at this. And, what I give credit to with the Blue Jays is the Blue Jays have had shuffling the lineup every single game, depending on the handedness of the pitcher, and who's in, who's out. And they've rose up to the occasion other than Game 3, which, I mean, Game 3, you went 18 innings and, you were hitting a wet noodle for the second game, but
well, and that's what I think.
They still did it.
That's what I think is, again, the difference between these two teams. The Blue Jays can give you different looks in the lineup. When the Dodgers have been mostly running out the same lineup every single game, how to game plan those guys. How to, it's not just 1 through 9. It's not just the 1 hitter, the 2 hitter, the 3 hitter. It's like those guys all feed off each other. It's like a chain, it's individual matchups, but it's a team sport. Every at bat feeds off one another. So the way you approach the 1-hole hitter affects the way you're going to approach the 2-hole hitter, and so on and so forth. I said the other night, I think the number 9 hitter for the Dodgers is the most important because the way he performs is the way that Ohtani's going to get pitched. That shapes up how his at bats are. So, every person in the lineup obviously matters. And, the lineup that you're putting out there, the order, all that stuff really matters. And teams are able to game plan against the same lineup every single day. The Blue Jays know how to pitch to these guys, and the Dodgers know how to pitch to the Jays, of course, as well. But just giving the Dodgers different looks to think about is something that's helping the Blue Jays, I think. And we do note here that Dodgers did change up their lineup a little bit tonight. Alex Call got the start. He played left field. They moved Kike over to center field. Pages got moved to the bench. Will Smith went all the way up to second. Betts moved down to third, and Freeman was at the 4 slot. So it didn't work. It clearly didn't work.
It did not. I mean, part of it's Trey Savage having that incredible feel for the splitter, but I mean, hey, he had his stuff, and I mean, the Dodgers went 0 for 1 with runners in scoring position. They left 4 men on base. So I mean,
they didn't really have chances.
What do you say? The lineup is ice cold. My mom called me again tonight. She's like, what the hell is going on with the Dodgers? I'm like, those bats are ice cold like the Blue Mountains on a Coors Light bottle. Like, they are just cold as ice, cold as an icy. It's like ice cream. Like they're not, they're just not locked in right now. That's a big issue because now you face elimination. You're going to the Rogers Center. It's going to be an absolute madhouse game 6. Toronto's riding with all the momentum, and I have to say, if I were to talk about that next game, just briefly, I'm not going to touch on what we're going to talk about later. All the pressure's on the Blue Jays. You don't want to go with Game 7 on the line. You want to smash defending champs, smash the cockroach, and kill it when it's down. You don't want to give the Dodgers an extra chance, and who knows who they're going to trot out Game 7 as a starting pitcher. And that's for another day if we get there.
But if we get there. That's true. The Jays are going to want to obviously finish this thing in 6, squash the bug. Don't give the Dodgers an opportunity here. Going back to the Dodgers lineup, I think we got to put out the bat signal for Mookie Betts, man.
It's been out. Like he was terrible last 2 games.
Dude, he's not only is he not hitting, the at bats are brutal. He's 3 for 23. 3 for 23. Only 5 strikeouts. Okay, he's not striking out a ton, but
he's a pull hitter and he's not pulling the ball. They were pitching him in the cutter and he wasn't getting on it in Game 3. My question to you now: talk about how bad the bats the Dodgers are. Do you feel that Game 3 has an effect, a hangover effect? There's still remnant effects. Obviously, we talk about the tiredness and everything, but just approaches at the dish. Because we talk about a lot that in the extra innings, especially without the man for the man, you want to be the hero. You want to hit the home run, take everybody home. Yeah. You feel because of how the length of that game went, and also aside from the length, it's just how many at bats they got out. Do you feel like it kind of just changed the approach and screwed them up? Because I do feel like we talk about it with the home run derby as these guys do the home run derby, the post home run derby slump from those participants.
I do wonder if there's a little bit of a hangover effect for sure from them winning that crazy 18-inning marathon Game 3. It'd be an interesting case study. There's only 2 examples, but obviously you had the Game 3 in 2018 between the Dodgers and the Red Sox. The Red Sox had won the first 2 games of that series. The Dodgers won the 18-inning marathon game that year, went on to lose the series. This was different because it was 1-1 heading into that game, and the Dodgers took a 2-1 lead after, but they won the 18-inning marathon game. And right now they're now down 3-2. They lost both of those games since. And to your point, the offense has been non-existent the last 2 games. So, and it really wasn't even, it wasn't crazy in the Game 3 that they won. It was just Ohtani went nuclear and Freddie Freeman finally had a hit there at the end to finally take us out of our little bit of misery there, staying up super late. I think there was a little bit of hangover effect. I think the Dodgers are one of the most mentally sound, if not the most mentally sound teams in all of baseball. And having mental strength is something that you absolutely need to play the game of baseball professionally. But part of me wonders, are they're tired? They're the oldest team in baseball, stayed up past their bedtimes. And did some of them feed into the narrative a little bit from the media? It's like, well, you win that game, it feels like Dodgers are going to win the series. That maybe there's something there.
My other thing is there's some errors this series, base running mistakes, some errors not in the field. They've not been that sound team, as we said. Do you feel that there's some type of I know I'm getting first takey, but do you feel like there's some type of arrogance with the Dodgers? We're the Dodgers, we're the champs, we got the talent, we're the big bad wolf, and not really giving Toronto their, Toronto's a good team, but they didn't expect Toronto to be this good, to grind them out.
No, I don't think there's arrogance. I just think Toronto is a damn good team, and they play a beautiful brand of baseball, that's really hard to beat in the regular season. Obviously, they finished with the best record in the AL, and now in the postseason, even more so. So no, I don't think they underestimated the Blue Jays. I don't. They
kind of remind me of who they. I was thinking about this in the car ride in the afternoon, just driving to the gym. They reminded me a little bit of the Royals, like a team right now. That bullpen right now for the Blue Jays is lights out right now, and that's how the bullpen for the Royals was in that run And I mean, right now you're seeing Varland come out. We have Bassett in the 8th, and then Hoffman in the 9th. Bullpen's doing great, and they create, like you said, they create havoc on the base paths. I mean, Addison Barger doesn't get enough credit. I think he might be one of the most underrated players right now in the game with what he does at the box. And defensively, he made that really nice play, robbing Shohei of a hit in the bottom of the 6th inning that doesn't get enough credit. And he has that arm, and he got those two, like before I turn it over to you, we can talk about the 7th where, he gets on base and, Barger walks and Barger was he singled. Then there was a wild pitch, which again, Will Smith didn't do a great job. After that wild pitch, there's another wild pitch and Barger gets the 3rd. And then there is a Vladimir Guerrero walk and Barger scores. Like, not even a hit was made, and he's scoring because he was creating havoc on the base pass and being aware.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up in the 7th when the rule does wild pitches, but he got good reads on balls in the dirt that Will Smith blocked. But, the ball got away from him. Barger made a good read on both of them, and he was able to advance that. That's manufacturing a run. That's what this Blue Jays team does. It's what they've done all season. The Henriquez wild pitch is how they scored. Henriquez was not good today. And you could see when Dave Roberts went to pull him, he kind of was like, come on. He did the point to the bullpen. He was a little pissed off. Henriquez did not have it. So, that was that made it 5-1 at that point, and they tacked on one more with the IKF single in the 8th.
4-1 Bo Bichette single. I'm just saying, like, Smoltz made a really good point. Like, you really don't want to just, in that sequence, there was one single and 2 walks, not only one hit brought in 1 run. It's just like, that's not what you want to do. And the runner advanced without a single hit. That was the point that Smoltz made. Like, he got all the way from 1st to 3rd off wild pitches, and then he got home, which is crazy. So off 3 wild pitches. Just not good baseball. Not good baseball. And I mean, you made a good point because Blake Snell went over 100 and he went exactly 116 pitches. There's some mistrust in that Dodgers pen. I mean, we're giving all the credit to the Blue Jays to win the game. You're creating havoc, like we said. You're creating havoc. Your bullpen is being lights out. And when you have Trey Savage going and doing the gem of a start like he did, you got to take advantage of that. But, I mean, the Dodgers are really looking really, really off.
They are. I think that's what this Blue Jays team does, though. And I think we've seen it kind of all postseason. They take you out of your comfort zone, and they kind of make you play their game of baseball, which I really like. I love those teams that maybe they have less talent on paper than the Dodgers, but they're going to play their brand of baseball. They're loyal to their brand of baseball. They're not going to change the way they play. And you can tell the Dodgers are uncomfortable out there. So it's interesting to watch them. We haven't seen them look like this all season long. They look so comfortable in the postseason against the Phillies, Brewers, and Reds because those are teams they feel like, they can beat. They're better than. They can show up and win those games most of the time. But when they're going up against...
There's familiarity as well.
There is familiarity. Yeah, they play each other more for sure. They only played the Blue Jays for 3 games in LA in August, but I don't know. It's fun to watch them, and now their backs are against the wall. The Blue Jays responded when their backs were against the wall. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in Game 6 back in Toronto. I don't think the Dodgers have made their last say in this series. It's we're going to see some fight from them in Game 6. We saw them fight back in Game 2 when their backs were a little bit against the wall. Not necessarily fully, but there was some pressure on them to win that Game 2. They did it. But now they lost 2 out of 3 in Los Angeles. It's crazy. On Vlad, who hit another home run, by the way. On
pitch 3, he took the second one.
He's quietly having a historically great postseason. Maybe not even quietly anymore, but I think it's quiet in the sense that people aren't talking about this as one of the best postseasons ever when it kind of is at this point. His home run in the first made him just the 8th player to homer at least 8 times in a single postseason. Not surprisingly, all of those have been in the wild card era, which is since 1995 with the expanded playoffs and everything. And the pre-wild card era record was 6, set by Pirates Bob Robertson in 71 and Lenny Dykstra in 93. But he is now the record of most postseason home runs is Randy Arozarena with 10 in 2020. Never forget playoff Randy. He's at 8. He's close. I know there's only maximum 2 games left, but he could, if he has a big game in Toronto, which is not past his, his capabilities, he could tie that record, which would be crazy. I mean, he's been that good this postseason. And yeah, to your point, ambush the fastball early in the game.
It's not even just ambush, and that's how they got success. That's how they chased them last game, and they did it again. And you got to give credit to the pitchings, to the coaching department, the manager, John Schneider, and the coaching department, and the players for executing. I mean, right now, that's what the Blue Jays are doing. They're executing, and Dodgers aren't. So, William, I'm going to put you on the spot. Game 6 at the Rogers Center. You got the whole country in blue on Friday night. Halloween night. Is it going to get spooky for the Dodgers or spooky for the Jays?
In any best-of-7 series tied 2-2, the Game 5 winner has won the series 46 out of 68 times, which is 67.6%. In series, in the current 2-3-2 format, teams taking the 3-2 lead by winning Game 5 on the road before returning home for Game 6 and 7 have gone on to win the series 20 out of 27 times, which is 74.1%. That said, numbers are clearly in Toronto's favor. I do think the Dodgers pick up the win in Game 6 on Friday and send it to a Game 7. This series has been great. I know, games 4 and 5 weren't amazing in terms of back and forth watchability. Obviously, Game 3 was a classic. I thought Game 1 was fun, the way the Blue Jays won that game. It's been a good series. I feel like this series deserves a 7th game. I think it is going to go a 7th game. So I think Yamamoto gets it done against Gausman in Game 6. It's not going to be a complete game, which if you're a Dodgers fan is nerve-wracking. They're going to have to turn the ball over to the pen at some point. You can make an argument Will Klein is second on their trust tree right now for the pen, but give me Yamamoto.
Number two on the trust tree. I think number 1 after you pitch 70 pitches of how many inning ball. I mean, it's got to be number 1, man.
We haven't seen Roki really much at all this series, so I still think he's number 1. He was bottom of the barrel. He's not going to go all the way up to 1 because of one performance.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
If it gets spooky, let's say 7th inning, 8th inning, do we see a 7 or 8 out save from Roki? Do you think Roberts has the cojones to do it? I know he put him in the 8th in Game 3, but do you think it was only 5 outs? You think he can do more than that? I mean, he is a converted starter.
He is, but man, he looks so bad in the start of the season starting. I don't think he would go 3. There is an interesting conversation of, do you go do you go Glasnow? If things go south, you probably go Glasnow and just worry about Game 7 if it happens. Sheehan, Ohtani, apparently he's in the mix for Game 6 or Game 7.
It's just such a mixed bag because right now it's just like good teams at this point in the postseason already know what their pitching tree is, their level of trust. You can see that with the Jays. The Jays are Bassett 8th, 9th Hoffman, Barlin's getting sprinkled in there, and then they've sprinkled in, we saw in the Yankee series, Brandon Little. It just give or take. With the Dodgers, it's really like we don't know. I mean, they've gone to Anthony Banda, first man out of the pen the past couple nights. But, I mean, is he somebody you really trust? I mean, is it Sheehan? Is it Dreyer for long relief? Do you even just throw Clayton Kershaw and just hope the baseball gods just bless you?
I don't know. Ask Fox.
He's the most rested arm at this point.
They missed Vesia. That's been a tough loss for them this series. Obviously, he's got other things going on in life that are probably more important, but his presence has been missed out of that pen. I don't know. It's going to be a big one. I think Dodgers win 5-2. I don't think the bats necessarily go crazy because it is Gausman for Toronto, who is, I don't know. I mean, after tonight, you say Savage is their best pitcher, but Gausman also, when he's on, you can say he's their best pitcher. So they got some depth in that rotation too. Everyone talks about the Dodgers pitching rotation depth, but the Blue Jays got a great start from Bieber in Game 4, which was the swing game in this series. That set them up for this game. And they got a great start from obviously Savage tonight, and Gosman was good in game 2. So they got some depth, man. Scherzer was fine in his start. Obviously, that was he got pulled long before that game ended. But it's been a really fun series. I don't know, where would you? It's probably the best series so far. I mean, last year was terrible. 23 was terrible.
Probably the best one in my mind since Nats Astros.
22 was a good series. Phillies, Astros.
Nats Astros.
The Astros threw that no-hitter in 22, and then 21, I thought Braves versus Astros was a good series. 2020 was a good series too. People forget Brett Phillips. That series went 6. That was a good one.
The 2019, the 21. That's what I'm saying. The Juan Soto game 7. Like yesterday.
Yeah. The thing about 2019, I was looking through it the other day. Like a lot of those games weren't close at all. And game 7 was pretty good. Howie Kendrick, but the 2018 wasn't that good of a series. Obviously, they had the 18 game.
We've been blessed.
2017 was elite. I know everyone talks about the the Astros trash can, but that series was so good. Well, looking back on it, 2016 was meh until Game 7. Game 7 was probably the most iconic baseball game of all time.
How about 2009, 2000, 99?
Yeah, all the Yankee ones. I mean, who cares now? The Yankees are miles away from either of these teams.
But yeah, I'm taking Friday night. I'm taking the Dodgers in 3-2 win. I think it's going to be a pen again. It's going to be a battle of the pens. I think right now we've seen that the Blue Jays have adjusted, but I think Yoshinobu Yamamoto is on a whole nother level. I think my guy's going to get it done. So
he's a dog.
He is. Yamadog is what I'm going to start calling him.
It's not bad. Little clunky.
A little clunky. Yamadog.
That's a little clunky.
Y squared. That's another one.
Y squared. Isn't that his actual nickname? I don't know. Yoshi, people call him.
No, hey, he's still elite. But yeah, man. I mean, we'll be back here Friday night on Halloween. We are law-abiding citizens. We will not be doing anything on Halloween night. We will be locked in on some Locked In Baseball podcast, baby. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram. William's posting reels almost every 3 hours at this point.
It's been a busy postseason.
He's giving you reels almost like for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning. I got to give these people some breakfast. Got to give them a nice reel with their eggs, waffles, and cereal. 12 o'clock. I'm having a BLT. How about I feed you a Trey Savage clip at 12 o'clock with a BLT? And then at 7 o'clock, man, I'm feeling a little bit, let's go a little healthy, little to this, the sweet potato and ground beef with some Greek yogurt and some avocado bowl. Let's feed them a freaking Dodgers batting stinks right now.
What's that?
What?
Oh, it's the LeBron meme where it's like, yeah, we're going to drop the 10 tracks and then we're going to add another one. We'll call it a deluxe album.
I have no idea. This is Williams dropping the deluxe right now.
We're dropping the deluxe on the socials.
On the socials. So yeah, make sure you follow us. Thank you guys for listening in tonight. William, any closing words? Substack article is not coming soon.
No. It's been a great series. I've thoroughly enjoyed this series as a neutral fan. This is what it's all about, man. So much better than last year. Last year was terrible.
I mean, it was terrible because your team got absolutely plunked in the first game. Like they did not come back after.
They didn't deserve to be there. They beat 2 terrible teams. Not terrible, but 2 central teams. And it was the biggest foosball World Series run.
William. Everybody's beautiful inside and out and unique in their own way. So let's chill with calling a team terrible and garbage.
We beat the Guardians and the Royals.
William, every team is unique and beautiful in their own way. Nobody is dog shit. Nobody is bad. Relax.
PG content. Now we're getting thrown off YouTube now.
It's getting Locked In Baseball Pod after dark.
Yeah, we're gonna have to end there. I'm gonna have to go edit that out real quick.
Oh my god! I'm just saying they're just not bad.
Nah, I'm kidding. Yeah. No, that was a great game. I got nothing else. You got anything else?
That is it.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. We'll be back on Friday night. Until then, catch you then. Peace out. Peace and blessings.